West Genesee, CNS, it's a great matchup because CNS is undefeated for the third straight regular season and now going through the postseason so far. And then West Genesee has one loss, and that only loss is to CNS 27-10. So that is setting up what we have right now, and it's setting up the conversation that you're going to hear in this moment that I had with Brad May going into this game, and here he is.
Obviously, you and I had spoken in the past, spoke last season about the growth of this team, and Coach was talking about this isn't something that was built this year, it was built over time. Just what you can say about that building over time.
Well, certainly chemistry is a big part of our success, and I think if we weren't as close as we were as a team, that we certainly wouldn't be as successful, but definitely all these practices have brought us close together. All the off-the-field bonding definitely has made us better as a team.
What is some of that off-the-field bonding, some of the things that you guys get to do together?
Just hanging out at each other's houses, playing video games together, a lot of Fortnite, definitely a lot of that. Big one, Solvay Lanes, got kicked out of there one time, it's okay, don't worry about it. A lot of that stuff, it's cool.
So, I've never played Fortnite, but apparently this is a very big thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not an old guy, so it's not like I don't know why is it so big? Why is it so important?
It's just monumental. It's something new. They're always updating it. And only one person wins, so you got to keep playing until you win, right? And it's pretty hard to win, so you got to be playing for a long time. But it's good. I like it.
What's harder, running the ball or playing Fortnite and winning?
I'm pretty good at Fortnite, so I'm going to have to say running the ball.
So, what you've been able to do, you had against Liverpool in a very close game at CNS, you had that touchdown difference. Mm-hmm. Just what you can say about staying the course in that game and when it went back and forth, just believing in yourself and believing in the team, believing in the offensive line to do what you needed to do.
Yeah, at halftime, everybody was super, super positive. Everyone was saying that there's no doubt in our minds we're winning this game. And when we were down, we all were super positive, heads held high, and we drove down that field, marched down, and we got the touchdown. We got what we needed, what we were striving to do, and everybody knew there was not a question in anyone's mind. We were winning that game the whole way. We had the momentum, and we were confident in ourselves that we were going to pull it out.
What made you guys believe that? Like you said, it's one thing to believe in yourselves, but you said there's no way we were losing. Nobody believed that we were going to lose. It didn't matter what the score was. It didn't matter how much time was left. We weren't going to lose. Bring me into that mentality.
So everybody has seen what we do in practice, and we all know that we watched their film, and we knew who we are as a team, and we knew that we were the better team, and we thought that we had the momentum going for ourselves. And we know as a team that once we pick up that momentum, that there's nobody stopping us, and we had it, and we got it.
You gutted that one out 17-14. The game before that, 38-8 against CBA. Just what you could say about a tale of two games and just what it shows about the team that you could have a blowout like that and then win one in the trenches and, kind of your run and then the run by Liverpool before that. So you had to win one in a very tight quarters where the other one you were able to blow them out at home.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think either if it's close or if it's a blowout, we're still giving it 110%. But definitely, I'd prefer to be in a dogfight, like a 17-14 game, because you're into it. Everybody's into it. When it's a blowout, you could just maybe get a little dry. Everyone was like, okay, when's this game ending? It's almost done. But in that dogfight, everybody was tuned in. Everybody was going crazy on the sidelines. Everyone was looking at the stands, getting them all riled up, and I think that's what I prefer. But we're looking for a dogfight with CNS. That's for sure.
CNS hasn't lost a game this season. You only lost one game, and it was to CNS, 27-10. Just what this game, is there a revenge? Is there that feeling? Is there that chip on the shoulder, knowing that you're almost perfect, if not for that game, and they are perfect going into it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like our coaches have told us this week that we're the underdog, and there's no doubt about that. Nobody really thinks that we're going to win. Except for us, but with that, what comes with that is that we don't have that pressure since we're the underdog. They have all the pressure in the world right now because they got to stay perfect. They have to beat us. They have to make it through this, but we don't have that pressure. So we're gonna stay true to ourselves. We're in that film room all week long, and we think we got it.
What can you say about this CNS team this year? What are you seeing? What is something that maybe is sticking out to you, especially having played that game, and not just have film on them, but have film on them against you?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're a team that's super, super talented. Connor Hayes, great quarterback. Jeremiah, they got Jaquan McGriff in the backfield. Great bunch of guys. They're really cool. Saw them at the Dome. But I think what sticks out with them is they're just a super fast team, really fast. There was nobody really that I think that could contend with their speed that we faced this year. But what we got to do to defend against that is just secure the perimeter, have contained Connor's a shifty guy. He'll get out of some stuff. But yeah, no, we just got to contain and try and make it seem like they're not that fast, I guess.
Who are some of the guys on the defensive side of the ball that you really think you go up against them in practice all the time? The ones that you think can slow down CNS or threaten what CNS is trying to do? I just had an opportunity to sit down with Chandler McCavin and whatnot. So who are some of those guys? Is he one of those guys that can slow the pace down and cause them to maybe make some mistakes?
Well, I think our whole D-line is capable of doing that. They've been absolute monsters all year, but those guys are Jack Miller, Reese Appleton, Chandler, Michael White, all these guys. They're just great guys, great physical players. Definitely able to get some pressure in there, contain the quarterback, get in there for some tackles for losses for the running back. Also, Mal and White, Brian Felix, our linebackers, they're able to come in there, put a pop on somebody. They're great players as well, really physical guys.
Bring me into the headaches, the nights kind of sitting up wondering, last year, the year before and whatnot, just things that didn't go your way. Now looking back at that, saying, now you're on the stage in the Dome, Class AA championship for Section 3. You're smiling right now. I mean, this is something that didn't happen overnight. This wasn't an easy road. It wasn't a fairy tale. This was, going through the gates of hell and pushing. So just bring me into that.
Well, one game I could tell you that still haunts me from last year is definitely that Central Square game. We're winning the whole game, and we end up losing it 14-12 when they're driving down the field, and they win that. But to push through that year, we knew we had something special this year. We knew from after, I think, the Beeville game from this year, everybody came together. They're like, wow, we could do that to a team in AA football in Section 3. Yeah. That's crazy. I think we've had maybe two or three shutouts this year. And our coach is telling us that he hasn't had a shutout in a while, a couple years. That's insane. And we're really confident, not cocky though. We're working hard, and we're just really happy with what we've done this year. But we're not getting complacent. We still got a long road to go.
Running the rock, just what you can say where you've gotten better, where you've improved, and the things that you've been able to do, because you've obviously gotten a spotlight on you, some of the things that you did against CBA and obviously what you did against Liverpool. So, two-part question, what can you say about evolving as a runner? And then secondly, how do you make sure that it's confidence and not cockiness?
Mm-hmm. So, I think something that I've gotten better as the years has gone on is I think I've become more patient. I think at the beginning of the year I was really just rushing into the hole, just hoping I saw grass, open grass a little too quick, and I just rushed right into it. But now I'm letting my block set up, and I'm able to make a lot of the time the first guy miss and go off a block. But also for the second part, how to make sure that it's confidence, not cockiness. Nobody's saying in here, oh yeah, no, they're not all that. Because we know they're a very respectable opponent. They're really a great team, and we know we're going to have to work for it. And nobody in our locker room is saying, yeah, this is just going to get handed to us. Nothing in life is handed to us. So we know we got to work for it, and that's what we're going to do.
Coach there's something that he does that he said, he kind of took from his time and growing and learning as a coach, and that is at the end of the game, when you have another game, when you win and you have life, it's the next opponent that you cheer. You don't say 1-2-3 West Jenny, 1-2-3 Wildcats. It's 1-2-3 CNS. It was 1-2-3 CBA. It was 1-2-3 Liverpool. What does that do for the team? Is there something special about that?
Yeah, because everyone wants to go maybe party that night that we won the game, but I think saying that right there just makes us turn the page. And I think this year that's really worked out well for us, because nobody's saying, like, next week's talking about, like, oh, yeah, dude, we won that game, we could do anything. We're turning the page and we're focusing, like, the next day we're in the film room watching film on that next team that we're playing. And it just makes us turn the page and help us focus on the next week. And it's that early day start has really helped us this year, and I think it's what's gotten us some wins.
And lastly, you're going to be inside the Carrier Dome. Just what that means to you.
Well, we were there last year, and it was amazing. But, I mean, this is a whole new experience. This is a whole new environment. It's going to be crazy in there. It was crazy last year, but the fact that it's a championship, it's on TV, this just means the world to us. A lot of us have been working for this since we were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Playing with these kids since maybe 10 years, 11 years now. It's just awesome to know that we've worked this hard and it's paid off and we're here. And this is just what a place to play, you know. We got a tour of it. It's just so cool. I can't wait.
That coming from Brad May of the West Genesee Wildcats, and West Genesee going up against CNS for the Class AA Section 3 Championship this weekend, Saturday, November 3rd at 6 p.m. inside of the Carrier Dome. Buy your tickets now. Pre-sale, couple dollars less than at the door, and make sure you're packing the Dome. There's been some great games at the Dome, and there's about to be another great game at the Dome between these two teams, West Genesee and CNS. Up next on the docket here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is Jack Miller. Jack Miller has never been on the show before. This is his first time on the show, so we welcome him to the show for the first time. And we have a very interesting conversation. I'm going to see if the guys see what I see as they hear it here, and this is what Jack and I spoke about when we had the opportunity to sit down.
So, first and foremost, just to look back on that adversity and look back on everything that you've had to go through to get here as a team, could you see the forest through the trees, so to speak? Could you see that this could happen someday?
We've always been a really good team, like, as a group growing up, like, from freshman to this year. We've always been a strong group. We've always, like, had the chemistry. Like, JV year, we only lost one game, and we've always just been grinders. Like, we've always played together. We know how everyone works, how everyone plays, and that's been helpful this year. So I did see everyone kind of saw it coming.
Yeah. When you go through the adversity that you've had, though, and the ups and the downs, Brad brought up the Central Square game last year. When you go through games like that, like you said, you feel like everybody could see that you could get here. Did you ever have a moment as a team collectively where you maybe thought that this dream was getting a little bit out of reach at times?
Well, last year, you got to think, like, everyone was, like, we were mostly juniors last year. Everyone was, like, younger and little experience at this level.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't know what to expect going into last season because we only had, like, I don't even know, we had, like, less than 15 seniors on the team. And it was more of, like, just improving as a team than thinking, like, the dream's out of reach. Like, we could easily have gotten there. It was just more of getting that experience and playing, getting, building that chemistry that we had from sophomore year back up again. And I feel like that's what really got us to where we are now.
The chemistry, how long have you played with some of these guys? Because Brad was talking about since, like, 5th grade knowing these guys.
Well, I started playing football in 7th grade, so it's a little different for me, but I've been playing, with all these kids since freshman year, because kids from my middle school doesn't really stick with football. I was really one of the only few kids that stuck with it, so, I mean, it's really been these past 4 years for me.
And let everybody know that doesn't know your middle school, where you went, and, like you said, you were one of the few that stuck with football.
Yeah, I went to Camillus Middle School, and we were all right. West Genesee Middle was the other school where all the other kids came from, but they always beat us. They were always better, and more of the kids gravitated towards, like, one sport, and I feel like West Genesee Middle was football heavy, and CMS was like lacrosse, and like you really gravitate towards one sport nowadays, and I think that's what just happened. That's just how it went.
So what made you want to stick with football? You said you started playing in 7th grade. What made you start playing in 7th grade, and what kept you playing?
Well, all my friends really played in 7th grade, and I actually did play flag football when I was a kid, and I got back into it in 7th grade because that's like modified, so everyone really picks it up again, and you see if you like it or not. And my dad played in college, and I really looked up to him like that, and I wanted to maybe get to the college level someday.
Yeah. Where did he play?
I played at Bucknell University,
Nice.
and I basically just looked up to my dad, and I wanted to play throughout high school. He always harped on the fact that you only get one high school career, and you look back on these memories for your whole life. So I stuck with as many sports as I could going up through middle school and into high school.
So with all the sports that you have played, rank them to me. I mean, is football number one, and where does everything else fall?
It's more seasonal.
Okay.
When you're in football season, you really dread getting into hockey season. Then when you're in hockey season, you don't want to get into lacrosse season. It's always but once you're in it and you get everything, you get under your feet again. It's it's your favorite sport from that point on. It's hard to explain, but once you get practicing and you get your feel back for the game, it's your favorite sport at the time.
Do you ever take a break? Ever?
No. I've played 3 sports throughout my entire life, honestly. I've played several different sports, and I've never really taken a break from them.
What makes that okay with you? The drive, you seem to be very calm,
Yeah.
cool and collected. So is that kind of how you attack it in life? I mean, is it you go out and you're ferocious out there playing lacrosse, playing hockey, playing football, and then maybe your downtime is more calm? Is that kind of how it is, the balance?
Yeah, it's tough to balance, but I really, I'm not really I don't know. I take it day by day. I don't really think into the future. I just kind of play. I mean, it's fun. I love it. There's days where practice is tough, but I mean, it's the games that you live for and the experience. There's nothing better than Friday Night Lights for both football and for hockey. Those games are insane. And lacrosse during the spring is more it's not my number one sport. I'd say that lacrosse is probably least ranked if I had to rank them.
Yeah. Okay.
So lacrosse is more of a conditioner for me. I stay in shape with lacrosse, and I still do enjoy it a lot, but it's more of conditioning for my other 2 sports.
Now, I'm a comic book fan, so somebody sees you, you got a kind of a Clark Kent look. Do you get that? I mean, and do you have kind of that motif of, okay, I'm Clark Kent in my calm life in class, but I'm Superman when I'm on the field, I'm Superman when I'm on the ice.
Yeah.
Is there a notion of that, and have you heard it before?
People do tell me that I look like Clark Kent, but I've never really thought of it like that. I kind of just go with the flow. I kind of just...
Not bad to be compared to Superman.
Yeah, I know, it's not bad. But, I just kind of just go with the flow and stick with my sports, and I don't really think about anything else.
This team, to speak, you're a DN on the team, to speak on the line as a whole, just what you could say about what this line has brought, and if you feel that this line can slow down a team like CNS that obviously wants to speed up the tempo.
We're really deep on the line. We got Chandler, who's just a big athlete. He makes plays left and right. We got Aris. He's a big, gritty kid. He is physical, and we got a bunch of other kids. Michael White is stepping up. He's another great athlete. He's quick. I don't know who I'm forgetting. Cole Wade was really well. He did amazing too. He was just a physical kid. He just loved the game, but he's obviously hurt this week with a concussion. Then we got a bunch of kids that are just gritty and know how to play D. D-line is it's not the easiest to play, but we practice it so much that everyone's equally there's no weak spots on our D-line right now, in my opinion.
You've been in a couple games here in the playoffs this year where you're at home against CBA and you defeat them 38-8, and then you go to CNS, you play Liverpool, and it's 17-14. Just to speak on how your team can be a chameleon and win those tight games as well as be the team that blows somebody out.
I feel in those games where it's a blowout, I mean, it's still a sequence of events. You get up by 3 touchdowns and the other team kind of sits down and they give up, whereas in those close games it's back and forth. So I mean, with us, we can blow a team out, and then the next week we can maintain our close games, and we can stick with teams. And honestly, we care a lot about the sport and our team. We don't want the season to end, and we play for our season, and we play for each other, because this is probably the tightest knit team I've ever been on in my life. Everyone's my brother on this team, and I feel like we just play for each other, and no matter if we blow a team out or it's a really close game, we don't let up.
Why is this team so close? Why is it a brotherhood? Why is it the closest team you've been on?
I don't know. Everyone, in other teams, there's cliques. You have I don't know. It's hard to explain that, but you have cliques on some other teams, and then on this team, no one's left out. Everyone's included in everything, and everyone's talked to. There's not a single kid on this team that I don't personally love. I don't know. It's just a different vibe than some of my other teams
that you've been on, and seeing this game that's coming up. You're going to be in the Carrier Dome. It's a huge moment. Class AA Section 3 championship. You have one loss this season. It's to CNS, 27-10. They have no losses. So this game, bring me into it. Is it a revenge game? Is it a chip on your shoulder game? Is it, just how you see this team? Because the only thing that's stood between you and perfection this year so far is them.
Yeah.
And here they are again.
I think this is our perfect scenario, because we have all the mojo right now. We're going into this game with nothing to lose. If, say we do lose this game, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that. We're not going to lose this game, but they have to defend their undefeated season. They have all this hype around them, and they have all the pressure in this game. We just get to go out there and try our best, and we can give 100%. We can just go out there and not even have to worry about what if we do lose, all in that. But I feel like we have all the mojo, and that's all that a team needs in a game like this, is the mojo.